AITA for asking my soon-to-be ex-husband why I'd take him back when the nanny does more for the family than she does. My husband and I have 2 kids together, a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. He's a business owner, which always sounds so great in theory, right? We talked before about how we'd balance work and parenting, and he promised he'd be home by 5:30-6 every night. Since I usually get home around 6 to 6:30, it seemed reasonable. I took him at his word, and when I heard nothing to the contrary, I assumed everything was fine. I had no idea how far from fine things really were. For a long time, I believed he was working late or busy with his business when he wasn't around. So, I set up extended care for our youngest at daycare and signed our oldest up for her school's after-school program. The kids would get home at a reasonable time, and he'd get some one-on-one time with them, right? But then our 8-year-old started struggling with the after-school program, and it just wasn't working. I was really feeling the weight of juggling work, the kids, and everything else in between, so I finally decided to hire a nanny halfway through the school year. Enter nanny number 1, a young woman who was excited to help out and, honestly, seemed perfect for the job. But just 2 weeks in, I got a call that I never expected. The nanny said that my husband had locked her and the kids out of the house. He told her to take them to the park because he was home early and wanted space from the kids. I was absolutely floored. She also mentioned that he was acting pretty hostile toward her, getting mad if she left the room for a snack, refusing to let her and the kids sit anywhere but one of the kids' rooms, and even ignoring our kids if they try to talk to him. Can you imagine? Your own kids trying to connect with you, and you're just brushing them off because you can't be bothered? At that point, the scales kind of fell from my eyes. This wasn't someone who just had a rough day. This was someone who consistently wasn't stepping up as a parent or even a decent person around our kids. I filed for divorce the next week. It wasn't even a question. My heart broke a bit, but I knew I'd reached the end of the line. By the end of the month, the kids and I had moved out. I ended up letting go of that first nanny. Long story, but the vibe just wasn't quite right after everything went down. And that's when I found Amina. I know some people get lucky with nannies, but Amina is truly in a league of her own. She's a 24-year-old Middle Eastern refugee with 3 kids of her own, age 2, 4, and 7. From the day she started, I felt like I'd finally found someone who didn't just see this as a job. She actually cared about my kids and our family. She comes in every day like a tornado of kindness and energy. The house is spotless when I get home. The kids' homework is done. And she somehow always has an incredible Arabic meal ready for us all. Honestly, her cooking is so good I sometimes feel like I'm coming home to a 5-star meal. Amina is not just a nanny. She's like a household manager, friend, and support system all rolled into one. She does the grocery shopping, remembers every little school event, and has even handled clothes shopping for the kids and back-to-school supply runs. I'm still in awe of how much she does for us. She's exactly the support my kids and I needed. With Amina around, I get to come home and be a mom, not a frazzle mess trying to juggle dinner, laundry, and getting my 8-year-old to sit down and do her math homework. To give you an idea of how different life was with my SDBX, here's what happened the last time I had to leave him alone with the kids. I had a week-long work trip, and when I came back, the house looked like a tornado had hit it. The kids had lived on McDonald's and pizza the entire time, and our oldest stomach was an absolute mess because of it. Oh, and he ran out of clean clothes for our 2-year-old at some point, and instead of washing any laundry, he just bought more clothes. I came home to absolute chaos, and when I tried to talk to him about it, he acted like it was my fault for going on the trip. Fast forward to now. We're still separated, and he's finally realizing that maybe he doesn't like what he thought he wanted. He's suddenly all about trying again for the kids, and at first, I just ignored him. But then he brought it up again, going on about how us being together would be better for the family. I couldn't take it anymore. I snapped and told him, "Why should I take you back when Amina does more for us than you ever did?" And he flipped. He went on about how he's the one who provides for us financially, as if my full-time job doesn't count or something. He even tried to act like his work was somehow different or more important than mine, even though I'm often clocking more hours and making around the same as he does. His family has jumped on board, saying I'm selfish and a bad mom for not giving the kids a chance at having 2 parents. They act like having 2 parents who are miserable and disconnected would somehow be healthier than just having one happy, present parent. So here I am, Reddit. AITA for calling him out and telling him exactly what I think. He didn't like hearing that Amina, someone he clearly sees as just a nanny, is a better parent and partner to me than he ever was. But I'm tired of pretending that he's this great guy just because he works and happens to be their biological father. I feel like I've finally found a balance where my kids are thriving and they're happy. Isn't that what matters?